Hey guys, so in this video I just wanted to come out here and discuss the issue of heat damage, and especially like being a straight natural, right? And it's in direct reaction to this lovely beautiful lady that got her hair silk pressed by a professional, but then got some of the most horrific heat damage that I have ever seen. And I guess it's horrific because, you know, she was expecting her curls, of course, to bounce back. I know there's some people that heat straighten their hair and they actually want to loosen their curl, quote unquote, heat train their hair. But yeah, let's watch the video and then I'll come back with my commentary.
I honestly didn't think that I would ever have to make a video like this, but clearly something has happened to my hair and I have to address it. I have to talk about it. Y'all know I recently got a silk press from a professional celebrity hair salon, and I told the hairstylist, I haven't gotten a silk press in over a decade. It's been a really long time. I just want to make sure that my curls revert back. I trust you, all these things, but clearly my hair did not revert. I washed my hair 3 times actually. It still was like lifeless and limp, and the curls did not come back from like ear to ear, so basically like the half of my head. And it's just been such a frustrating experience because this has never happened to me before in all my years of being natural, of all my years of ever straightening my hair. I've never experienced this much heat damage. Here's what I think happened. During the wash process, there was a hot oil treatment used, and I don't think it was completely washed out because the hairstylist mentioned it halfway through the blow dry process that we had to go back to the bowl and wash my hair again because she thought that there was still some hot oil treatment residue left over. So once we went back to the bowl, she washed my hair again, and then we had to go through and blow dry my hair again. Also at this time, during the rinse, my shirt did get wet. So during the flat ironing process, she had to do another pass of the flat iron because my hair was reverting in the back because my shirt was wet. So I feel like it's evident in the damage that I have that like from where she stopped blow drying, the heat from the blow dryer and the oil might have like amplified the heat conduction. I'm not too sure, but
also a smaller flat iron was used, and come to find out it's a very cheap flat iron that has no temperature control, reaches 450 degrees max, and is known to burn hair and cause damage, which is so disappointing because as a celebrity hair salon with their prices, I expect quality products to be used on my hair.
This is just what's evident in the damage that I have. Yeah, I've never experienced any heat damage like this ever in my life. Even when I was a straight natural, I still had a curl pattern, so I'm just really confused on how this even happened. But I've cried, I've mourned about it, and now I think it's just time to stop spiraling and try to fix and heal my hair if that's even possible. Here's the plan. I think I'm gonna try and do like a 2 to 3 month hair boot camp of like using balm builders, deep conditioners, just going through this process of trying to heal my hair. And I know that the curl pattern will not be the same, but hopefully there can be a curl pattern because right now it's looking like a relaxer. But if nothing changes, I fear I might have the big chop, and I've never ever done that in my life, so I'm scared. But thank y'all for just letting me have the space to be honest, because I feel like I have to come and make this announcement and navigate this new chapter with y'all in a way that is just so vulnerable for me, because you guys know like black hair trauma, going to salons like and mistrust and all those things. I feel like it's just reignited that for me, so I'm like mentally dealing with that, and then having to like go through just so many drastic transitions all at once, and the idea of like having to chop my hair, it's just a lot of like pulling and tugging at my confidence and like my trust and all those things. So it's a lot for me, but thank y'all, and hopefully the journey is worth it because oh my god, I miss my hair so much. But hair will grow back.
First things first, I just want to say she's a beautiful lady, beautiful hair, nothing bad or ill that I'm gonna say about her. She's a sister of ours, and I don't believe in bashing people, etc. But obviously I'm just using this particular video to highlight a few points around our hair care as Black women. So for starters, I want to say there is nothing wrong with deciding how you want to wear your hair. If you want to be a straight natural, if you want to be a twisted natural, cornrow natural, protective styler, pixie cut, bold, whatever, even relaxing your hair, each one to their own. Like everyone has the will of choice, which is actually a God-given right. You've got a right to your will and to your choice. This is not to say that your decisions won't come with consequences, but, just be aware of those possible consequences of doing whatever it is that you're doing with your hair, and go ahead and decide what you want to do with your hair and how you want to live your life that you've been given. Now, I have said for the longest time that being a straight haired natural, there's nothing wrong with it. But one thing we need to realize is that if you're going to be a straight natural, come to terms with the fact that you might have heat damage. And when it happens, you need to be okay with it. As in, you have to have anticipated it, especially for people that do this on a regular basis. Obviously, I don't think this lady is actually a straight natural, because she did say that she hadn't straightened her hair for a while and she was just, wanting the silk press as a, something unusual, I guess, so out of the usual from her normal routine. And she'd had silk presses in the past, but never had experienced that heat damage, such an extent of heat damage. And you guys, she's got beautiful curls, and in my opinion, all of her hair is damaged because her curls don't look anything like their original state. So this is what I'm trying to say here, that, if you're going to use excessive amount of heat on your hair, be ready for the damage and be ready to, deal with that. And also, just to be aware that no one will look after your hair the way you do. Apparently, this place where she went to get her hair done, these people were professionals. These people were expensive. And, of course, she had her trust in them because, they know better than her. They're professionals. They do this more regularly than her. And I'm sure she was relaxed and comfortable and calm about it. But look at the result. And as she explained, it looked like the use of a hot oil treatment was not a great idea because, unless you wash that out really well, oils are gonna mess up with flat iron, because they're gonna, pretty much cause the hair to hold on to more heat, or have the heat affect your hair a little bit more, even much more than it would if there was no oils or excessive product on the hair. So that's one. Also, going over the hair again with, the blow dryer, because it was reverting at the back because her t-shirt was dry. For someone that experienced with this particular way of caring for hair, I expect you to be more careful when dealing with this kind of a situation. You should have been able to anticipate this kind of thing. And as you can see, most of her damage, or the worst damage that she has, is actually on the back of her head, which does make you think that excessive application of heat, or the second time they went to blow dry their hair, that really affected their hair. So at the end of the day, this is what I like to say now. The natural hair community has evolved. Yeah, we've come from a messaging where we're like, always be natural, wear your hair only in its rawest state, etc. But the truth of the matter is, it's not sustainable, especially for every single Black woman. It's sustainable for me. I've been able to be natural for the longest time, and I can see how I can have my natural hair, or hold my natural hair on my head forever, for all my life, because twists work for my hair. I know what my routine looks like. I know what works for me, etc. Doesn't mean that I'll never evolve to want to put locks on my hair, cut my hair, curl my hair, or that I don't wear wigs. You guys know I wear wigs sometimes because we're human. Like, we like to try new things, and there's nothing wrong with that, So for people that find that, for example, they prefer their hair straighter, and straighter hair shapes their face better, whatever the reasons, go for it. But, be aware that you might get heat damage. And if you've got 4C natural hair, or any type of type 4, I would rather you actually relax your hair than consistently apply heat. And that's because the risk to actually damage the hair more, in my opinion, is greater. With a relaxer, you're just relaxing the roots that are coming in, textured, but the rest of your hair is only relaxed once, and you learn how to look after your hair in a relaxed state. It will be damaged, because relaxed hair is damaged hair. It'll be more fragile, and if you don't know what you're doing, it will break off and you lose your length. But that's not to say that you can't grow long hair with relaxed hair. And that's not to say that you can't be a straight natural. But if you are a straight natural, that application of heat to the length of your hair every single time, high amounts of heat for type 4 hair, very fragile, the risk of damaging it is high. So unless you're happy with that damage, do you know what I mean? You might as well just relax your hair if you prefer to wear your hair straight up.
Baby girl, you are so pretty. So like many, I used to think that relaxed hair couldn't grow long and strong, and I was wrong. So these are the things that I did that really helped me to grow my relaxed hair. One, I started stretching my relaxers. I now relax every 4 months or so, and for me, that's good. Two, I stopped using grease and I started using all natural hair oils. Unlay hair oil is amazing, and that's the hair oil that really took my hair to the next level. Two, I started using hair strengtheners and really practiced low manipulation styling. I'll put my hair in a bun for a week and leave it alone.
So guys, after 16 months of stretching my relaxer, I finally relaxed my hair, and after flat ironing and blow drying, this was the final results. So even though this relaxer process was stressful because of the amount of new growth I had to deal with, the results were definitely worth it.
Another thing is, heat styling just means that you can't swim. You have to be worried about the humidity. You have to be worried about water touching your hair. You can't moisturize your hair with water, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if you're wanting straight hair, yeah, you might as well just relax your hair than go straight natural. Because of, all the other disadvantages that come with straightening your hair. So, yeah, I don't know what you guys think about this, but it's one of those things where you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want straight hair, you need to be willing or aware of the disadvantages that come with having straight hair. If you want textured hair, then have your hair in textured hair. If you want to switch up between textured hair, straight hair, be aware of the risk and be very careful while you're doing that as a once-off, because it only takes one sitting, one time to actually damage your hair, as we've seen with this particular video. And I know a lot of people will say you can be a straight natural with 4C hair, but girl, what I have found is that most people that are straight naturals are not type 4 naturals. Definitely not type 4C, because it's very fragile. It cannot take these high amounts of heat consistently. Like for a lifestyle, I've not seen this. It's usually people with the type 3s, etc. And people come out here even with looser textures and share how their hair has been damaged. She's not the only one. I have seen a great deal of people that have had damaged hair because of straightening or flat ironing their hair. The risk is too high, especially if you're wanting to reserve your curls. So you might as well just relax your hair. I'm not advocating for relaxing your hair, as some of you might come and point out in the comment section. I'm just saying, one, be free to decide what and how you want to wear your hair and explore that. Let your hair not be a limiting factor to how you want to present in the world. Of course, before you go ahead to relax your hair, wear wigs, hide it under hoodies, protective styles, hats, whatever. Learn to love your own natural God-given texture first, and then decide what your preference is. Because if you try and do these things without learning and loving your own hair that grows out of your hair, which is out of your head, which is part of you, you will always have these insecurity issues. Yeah. And if you have kids, you want your kids to see you in that natural state at some point in your life, so that they know that they are okay with their natural hair. If they decide to do something else after that, fine, but they will know how to look after their natural hair in its raw form, and they will love it. They'll have no problem with seeing themselves that way, presenting themselves to the world in that way, because you have shown them that example. Even if you choose to, be a straight natural or have locks or, cornrows, etc. Do you know what I mean? So I know this is a different kind of tone or narrative, but the natural hair community has evolved, and we need to move with the times and realize that maybe we took it a little bit too far with natural hair, expecting that people will always want to wear their hair in its rawest form. People are free to do whatever they want with their hair. Comment below, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.
You're burning your hair up, and this is how to stop doing that. Now that I've straightened my hair twice consecutively in the same month and had all my curls revert back, as you can see, with no problem, I believe I have a little bit of credibility in telling you guys how to prevent heat damage, or how to minimize heat damage, I should say. I've seen so many people doing their silk presses at home, and I'm glad you guys are taking matters into your own hands, but you're burning your hair to smithereens, and the curls aren't coming back, and like, you're making these videos reverting your curls, and the reversion isn't in the room with us. So this is what you need to do. The first thing that I'm going to say that makes such a difference before ever straightening your hair is deep conditioning. Deep conditioning is going to set up your hair to be ready to come back. It's going to give your hair the integrity it needs, the strength it needs, the reinforcement it needs, so that the curls can be intact when you go to wash it. A lot of times we're skipping the proper deep conditioning techniques. We're putting conditioner in our hair for 2 minutes and rinsing it out in the shower. No ma'am. You need to sit under the dryer. You need to let that moisture sink into the hair. You need to let whatever ingredients is in that deep conditioner penetrate the hair so that the hair can be ready to revert back. And I already know I'm going to get this question, so I'm going to just show you guys 2 examples of deep conditioners that I like to use prior to straightening. One of them is the Strengthen Deep Conditioner by Miche, and that one's more protein based, and the other one is the Amika Hydro Rush, and this one is more like moisture based. But both of these are important in your hair, and whichever one I choose to use, I will use the opposite when I revert my hair back. The second thing is, please use heat protectant. A lot of you guys are saying, oh, well, I don't want to use heat protectant because it's going to weigh my hair down, it makes my hair feel funny. You rather your hair feel funny and have your curls come back than the latter. Honestly, I've been using the Good Behavior IGK one here recently, but I used to use the Tresemme Heat Tamer Spray, and that one never failed me, and it does not add any weight to your hair. It's pretty much water-based, so your hair is not weighed down using that one, and I definitely would recommend that one. But if you have the coins to spare, this IGK Good Behavior is a good one, because this is an aerosol spray. It's really lightweight. It's not going to add any stickiness or tackiness to your hair, and you're going to get that protection that you need before you put those hot tools to your hair. The third thing is, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, no one needs 450 degrees to straighten their hair. I repeat, no one needs 450 degrees to straighten their hair. If you're needing 450 degrees to get your hair straightened, then you don't need to be flat ironing or straightening, because your hair is not in the condition that it needs to be in prior to doing any kind of straightening or silk press. The silk isn't in the room if you got to use 450. I seen this one girl on here, and her hair is probably 40 inches long as her real hair, and she says she's always used 450. But let me tell you something that I do. I would do my research. I know you guys don't like to go back and look through old videos, but I will. And I've gone back and looked through her old videos, and I don't know if it's this alone, but I've noticed that her hair is not as thick as it was like maybe a year or 2 ago. So I'm not saying that she's burning it out, but that 450 is unnecessary. And most heat protectants will only protect your hair up to like 420-ish degrees, even though they say 450. You don't want to be at the top. You don't want to be at the highest end of that. You want to be somewhere around 390, 410 max. I'm maxing out at 410. I'm not going higher than that. And you can get the silk you want. So please don't turn your flat irons all the way up. If you have one of those that just have the dials like 1 through 20, don't go up to 20, you guys. Keep it around 15. Yeah, because that 450, it would be the death of those curls. Another thing that I think you guys haven't really grasped this concept, and I don't know why it's foreign or why you guys don't understand it, because to me it's self-explanatory, but this may contribute to why you're going over your hair multiple times, multiple passes, which you don't need to do. But the comb or the brush, whatever you're using to straighten your hair, it goes in front of the flat iron. That's why it's called the chase method. You're not chasing your flat iron with the comb or the brush. You're chasing the comb with the flat iron, okay? The flat iron is just doing the straightening, okay? The comb is separating those strands so that the heat can evenly distribute as you go down. I don't know why you guys don't get that. I don't know why I see you guys on here with the flat iron and then the comb behind it. The math don't math to me. That's why you guys are going over your ends 2 and 3 times and killing the curls. Stop it. And then I'm going to say this, and this is probably, and by the way, these were in no particular order, but this one is so important, you guys. Focus on the blow dry. Yes, the flat iron is going to sleek things down and be that final step, but focus on your blow dry. The straighter you can get your hair during that blow drying process, the less work you're going to have to do when you go over the flat iron. If your hair is, blown out well enough, you're going to need 1 pass on that strand. Each section is only going to get 1 pass. If you find that you're going over it multiple times, the ends are tangled, this, that, and the third, you didn't blow dry your hair good enough. And I hate to be the one to tell you, because everyone's an at-home stylist and they think they got it down. You're not blow drying your hair well enough if you're having to do multiple passes over your hair. It doesn't take that. Cut it out. You're burning the hair for no reason. Last but not least, I guess this one kind of goes without saying, and this is not something to prevent damage, but if you do have damaged ends, your ends are the oldest part of your hair, chances are you probably need a trim. Cut it off. Cut it. The hair is ready to go. It's dead and deceased. Technically, all of our hair is dead, but you get what I'm saying. The curls, they're not coming back. I know there's all these products on the market that promise to revert your curls. Cut it.